All right, well, after all this, the president makes his pick. People are already picking a fight. President Obama today nominating Solicitor General Elana Kagan for the Supreme Court. She battled my next guest in a case that became quite famous about campaign finance reform. She lost. Now he says she gets in, workers will be the ones to lose. David Bossie is president of Citizens United. This essentially boiled down, David, in your case, to be about companies or causes or groups being able to spend whatever they want in political campaigns, the gist of it, right?
Well, it was about free speech, and it was a fundamental political speech, really the most protected of all speech by our founding fathers, 225 years of law. And she came out in oral arguments in our case before the Supreme Court and stated that books could be banned. And I am shocked by hearing that, and I'm surprised that Barack Obama chose her.
Nevertheless, as Solicitor General, you kind of have to do that stuff, right? I mean, you have to sort of, I don't know, argue the government's case, for want of a simpler explanation. So
well, that's right.
when she argued her points, David, I mean, did she tip her hand on other points of view? Because in 8 big decisions that have come to her office as Solicitor General, the typical view was that 7 were deemed anti-business. But besides that, what did you glean from her character? Because she obviously not a judge, and she has nothing else on which we can go on.
Sure, and that is, look, this is all about reading the tea leaves, Neil, and you're right. We don't have a long record to go on. But my belief is that Barack Obama chose her because of her anti-big business, anti-corporate beliefs. She is somebody who has stood before the Supreme Court and argued against corporate America. Today, he indicated that this was a litmus test, the Citizens United case, which he named in the Rose Garden ceremony as a litmus test. So I think it's very serious.
All right. Now, she's argued in the past on behalf of shareholders versus companies who say that they were burnt. She's also consistently defended unions and whatever their beefs are with corporations, and that particularly tipped her hand to you. Explain.
You know, she is somebody who, in our case, and in this current legislation, by the way, the Disclose Act that is currently there, that will end up before the Supreme Court, is all about banning the Chamber of Commerce. It's specifically written, in my opinion, to affect groups like the Chamber of Commerce and benefit unions. And that is really what what the Disclose Act, this current legislation brought forth by Chuck Schumer, Chris Van Hollen, and the White House, is all about, is protecting unions and defeating those corporate interests, those evil corporations, by the way, which a vast majority of which are individuals. Those are the mom and pop grocery stores, the restaurants, the dry cleaners are across America who should have the right to speak. This is not about IBM and Microsoft.
Right. You know, if she were to become a Supreme Court justice, the argument is, well, she just replaces another liberal, but in that is from John Paul Stevens. But the difference here is that her mettle would be very quickly tested because a number of cases dealing with punitive damages and preemption of state law would come up. How do you think in cases like that she would rule?
Well, you know, that's going to be very interesting to watch, Neil. And she's what Barack Obama said, and I think that this goes to a lot of her background, but it is she's a bridge builder. She's somebody who likes to build coalitions. That's what people are saying about her today. And what I believe will happen is that she'll be trying to go after one of those 5 or all of those 5 in the majority, at least in the Citizens United opinion, and try to sway just one of them, because in a 5-4 court, it really only takes swaying one vote to turn it the other way.
That's a very good point. And she does have very good pervasive skills, we're told, at Harvard. We'll see what happens.
We haven't seen him yet, but we'll see.
Well, not with you, but maybe. Thank you, David, very much. My next guest, one of the top Republicans.